Associated Press of Pakistan. AP is a government-operated national news agency of Pakistan. The name AP should not to be confused with the much larger Associated Press news agency, AP, based in New York, though it is a subscriber to both AP and Reuters, based in London. AP has news exchange agreements with 37 foreign news agencies and more than 500 correspondents. History: lack of financial resources. Following Pakistan's independence, the newborn country's press was economically weak, and was thus unable to financially support the agency. AP asked the government of Pakistan for financial support, which was granted in the form of loans and subsidies. Government support enabled AP to subscribe to the services of the world's news agencies and to open offices in major cities of Pakistan. Government takeover. Since its inception after the independence of Pakistan, the financial situation of AP continued to deteriorate until it was on the verge of collapse. This was a direct result of the withholding of payment of funds from the government of Pakistan, due towards AP from the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting in an effort to create a financial crisis for the National News Agency. In the early 1960s, AP owed about Rs. 8 lakhs, rupees 800,000, to the government's Post and Telegraph Department and another Rs. 12 lakhs, rupees 1,200,000, in unpaid subscription fees to foreign news agencies. The government of Pakistan intervened and took over the agency on 15 July 1961 following the instructions of certain vested interests within the government of Pakistan. A government ordinance was issued for it. The given reason was to strengthen AP's financial foundation. The takeover took place with several changes. Malik Tajuddin was removed and A.K. Qureshi, a senior government officer with some journalistic experience, was hired as administrator of AP. The head office of the agency was shifted to Islamabad, the new capital of Pakistan. While the financial position of the agency further deteriorated, its coverage became more biased as the government started to use it as an official mouthpiece. A.K. Qureshi was a member of the ill-fated National Press Trust delegation traveling to London by Pier Flight 705 that crashed at Cairo on May 20, 1965. He is buried in a mass grave at Cairo alongside his fellow passengers, victims of Pakistan's first jet aircraft disaster. Editorial Operation. Besides its head office in Islamabad, AP maintains 5 bureaus at Karachi, Lahore, Peshawar, Quetta and Rawalpindi, and 7 news centres at Sukkur, Multan, Quetta, Faisalabad, Larkana, Hyderabad, Muzaffarabad and now Gilgit-Baltistan. The editorial function of any news agency is the same as that of a newspaper, i.e., it is divided between reporting teams and the news desk. In smaller centers, the editorial staff consists of a reporter and sub-editor. The reporting team is composed of about reporters, responsible for specific beats such as economy, sports, crime, national and provincial assemblies and major government departments. These news desks are responsible for copywriting and for coordinating activities of the reporting team. They also handle press releases of government information and private organizations including national and international NGOs, embassies and foreign missions. The whole news operation is monitored by a central news desk, CND, located at the head office in Islamabad. News stories, features, write-ups from all bureaus are sent to Islamabad for editing, and from there the combined service is distributed nationally. The CND is connected with foreign news agencies, local and foreign newspapers, government entities, TV channels, radio via and Internet communication networks. Despite AP being considered Pakistan's premier news agency, for decades the agency ran on an old, obsolete and unreliable equipment. News copy was being carried on a 50-board duplex circuit between Islamabad, Karachi and Lahore. Mr. M. Aftab, AP's general manager in 1991, undertook to improve the agency technical resources. The resulting upgrade saw a transformation of data output speed from 50 words per minute (WMP) to 1200 WPM, most of which is now directly fed into the computers of the subscribers simultaneously throughout Pakistan and overseas. Subscribers, being the national news agency of Pakistan, AP collects and disseminate domestic and international news to 84 1992 newspapers of Pakistan besides radio, television and government offices and some foreign media. AP's subscription rates are higher than other agencies in Pakistan, due to its credibility and services. For this reason, every newspaper in Pakistan tries to subscribe to its services. Notable subscribers to AP's services include Dawn, Pakistan Times, Frontier Post, The Statesman, The Nation, The News International, Business Recorder, The Observer, The Post and Nawar Iwaqt, Jang, Carbrain, Daily Express, Urdu newspaper, The Express Tribune and other English and Urdu national dailies. Staff. The number of AP's employees is estimated at between 800 and 1,000. Of whom over 200 to 350 are journalists and photographers, while the rest are administrative staff, including computer engineers, technicians, peons, traffic attendants, data entry operators, and finance staff. In addition, there are a small number of stringers, part-time correspondents, at various district headquarters in Pakistan and abroad. After decades gap, the system of journalists posting abroad was revived during the first tenure of Mr. M. Aftab. He secured approval of the ministry to post 4 senior journalists, his special correspondents in Washington, D.C., London, Beijing and New Delhi. The massive political induction by Musharraf government's information minister Muhammad Ali Durrani, and subsequently by PPP-led democratic government at Federation from 2008 up till now, October 2015, have badly affected the financial position of AP. The organization is unable to pay medical, telephones, newspapers' bills, overtime, feature and other allowances. The very unfortunate thing was that the backbone of the organization are journalists, but they are very less in number as compared to other staff members of the entity. Management and financing. AP is a government organization responsible to the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. The agency is headed by a Director General, appointed by the Ministry. Also it has a Managing Director, MD, of AP, appointed by the government. Since the government takeover, AP has continued with an undefined status, neither an official government body nor an independent news outfit. AP has drawn criticism as a mouthpiece for the government of the day. In 1998, however, a bill was proposed to convert AP into a corporation. On 19 October 2002, an ordinance converted AP into a corporation and renamed it Associated Press of Pakistan Corporation, APPC. Due to this unclear status, there is no long-term financing in place for AP, with allocations being made on an annual basis by the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. AP's annual expenditure is now placed at Rs. 140 million. AP generates 60% of its revenue from the government, and the remainder is raised through subscription from electronic media including television and radio and newspapers, as well as foreign news agencies, business and non-media subscribers. Services provided by AP. News service. The AP News Service is mainly divided into 3 main areas: official, political and district news. Official news App provides detailed coverage of the activities and statements of government dignitaries. Newspapers and the government-controlled radio and television rely heavily on App for government news. According to renowned journalist Samir Niazi, most of the time and energy of App since the days of Ayub Khan is being consumed in reading long speeches of the president and other ministries. The rest are allocated to the government press notes and other lesser government functionaries. Quote, political and other news being the government agency. App mainly focuses on government news, besides promoting cultural, social, economic and other sectors of national life. The organization is well known for its credibility. As being a state-owned news agency, it has to demonstrate it indeed. App also gives coverage to opposition leaders and parties in center and at provincial level, but keeping in view its policy and as allowed by the federal government. District news App's district news service is not highly regarded, as its resources are so thinly placed across the country that most of the information from this department comes from government information offices. Foreign news App has become the main source of international news for the Pakistani media. The agency subscribes to Reuters, AFP, and the Associated Press of America. App. United Press International was also linked with App, but the agreement was allowed to lapse. App has cooperation agreements with some 35 news agencies, mainly in third world countries. Under these agreements, news is exchanged on a barter basis. Prominent among these are the Islamic Republic News Agency, IRNA, the Press Trust of India, and MENA, Egypt. Commercial service. The commercial service of App provides currency and commodity rates from Reuters, financial and economic services, banks and large business houses. App planned to expand this service, but suffered a setback in the mid-1980s when Reuters bypassed App and began to sell its financial services directly to business houses and newspapers in Pakistan. Photo service. App has its own photographic section equipped with photo receivers and photo transmitters in Karachi, Lahore, Islamabad and Quetta respectively. Islamabad is the head office to receive photographs from within Pakistan and abroad, and transmits them to the agency bureau and stations which distribute them to local newspapers. Urdu service. The agency Urdu language service started in the 1980s to cater for the needs of the growing number of Urdu language dailies in Pakistan. The idea behind the setting up of the service was to avoid errors and ensure accuracy. As a practice, Urdu speech was often translated into English by the App and then back into Urdu by newspaper editor, greatly increasing the chances of translation. Emphasis on context errors. The Urdu service, while still small, has been effective in producing text in both languages. Feature and write-up service App editorial staff regularly contribute English and Urdu feature and write-ups on socio-economic issues including education, health, business which are well carried by national dailies. Video news service The Visual News Service, VNS, was launched during 2007 with a special focus to provide electronic news coverage of President, Prime Minister, Parliament House to private media, national and international channels. The project was initiated on an idea to launch App's own news channel, but financial restraints have hindered the idea and confined it to VNS service only. http://www.app.com. PK, Associated Press of Pakistan official website. Retrieved the 22nd of October 2016.